All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video leading up to the 4th episode for The Walking Dead Season 9. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts of whether or not we think Daryl or Maggie could be responsible for Rick's death. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and do at least one more tonight, and we'll go through some of your guys' comments here after an awesome episode 3. If you didn't see my review for it, I'll have in the end screen videos here for you guys so you can check it out. Absolutely. Love the 3rd episode. It put us in a different direction from where things were kind of going, and I think just made this season way more exciting and just put us on a different trajectory than I think a lot of us thought they were going in. You know, I was basically thinking like, we're pretty much going to see this fill out time until the Whispers show up, and that hasn't been it at all. I really feel like that last 5 minutes of that episode in episode 3 really kind of turned things around and made it just as exciting as maybe almost as exciting as the introduction for the Whispers, in that we've never really seen Maggie and Rick, like we've never seen a villain like this, at least from Rick's perspective, depending on how you want to look at things. Throughout the series, we've had Shane turn on Rick, but that was like a personal one-on-one type of situation here. Now we have these huge communities where they have so many different survivors and so many people, and Maggie is looking really strong right now. So for the last 2 episodes, we have 2 episodes left for Rick Grimes and The Walking Dead. If everything AMC and Andrew Lincoln and the others have said is true, then episode 5 will probably be the last episode Rick will be in the series. Whether or not that's the case, whether or not Jadis can come in and save Rick, come on, Jadis, you can do it. We got an A for you, right? Figure it out. Somehow Rick gets bitten and Jadis, recovers him or something, and then he's the one who's sent off somehow. I don't know. JSS. Hopefully Rick just survives somehow. But the other way you could go with this one, like you see him and Daryl fighting in the promo for episode 4 here, and at least for me, I'm thinking to myself like, oh my God. Could Maggie or Daryl be responsible for Rick's demise? Like, if they either directly or inadvertently cause Rick's death, that will just be crazy. So, a lot of us coming in here had thought maybe the Whispers would be responsible for it, but maybe in all this chaos that's going to, ensue pretty soon with Daryl and Maggie kind of, I don't say overthrowing Rick, but going totally against what Rick wants and going after Negan themselves. Man, this could be crazy. If Rick gets in harm's way here somehow and somehow gets bitten in the next 2 episodes, this is going to be absolutely nuts. Like, can you imagine if the fight with Daryl ends up where Rick somehow falls down and a zombie bites him or something? I mean, that would just be like the absolute worst thing ever. Create Till Death said this one through. He said, I hate that Rick's about to leave and him and Daryl are against each other. And now they're fighting in next week's episode. If Rick dies because of Daryl, he'll become unforgivable. And that's true, right? But we know Maggie's leaving soon as well. So if either of them are responsible for the death of Rick, man, I don't know if the audience will ever forgive them. Like, if Rick gets bitten fighting with Daryl, oh, man. Yeah, I really don't know if the audience would ever forgive Daryl if it happened as a result of him. If it happens as a result of Maggie and Maggie leaves, like maybe in episode 4, Negan escapes, everything goes absolutely berserk crazy, and Michonne and Maggie throw down, and Michonne wins, because Michonne's going to win. It's just, Daryl somehow beats Rick, but then Rick leaves afterwards or something, and Negan's on the run, and they're all after him. And a zombie herd gets thrown in the mix some here. The Saviors come in and Carol's everything's in disarray. And somehow Rick gets caught in a herd or something of the sort. And then, goddamn, man, ends up dying as a result of Maggie and Daryl's actions here. This is a really tricky one, man. This could be a slippery slope to go down. And because Maggie's leaving, I think it's okay if she's the one who causes it. But Daryl, Norman Reedus has said that he's going to stay until the absolute end of The Walking Dead. So I don't think that they could have it be that Daryl could be responsible for Rick's demise. Even though he is sort of responsible indirectly for Glenn's death, But nobody blames him for that because Negan's, a psycho, right? when Lucille gets thirsty. So we'll see how it goes. But I don't think Daryl can be responsible for it. Maggie maybe, but Daryl no. Or maybe Negan. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Then we have Grizzly Scalp 950 who says, "Wow, Oceanside actually had a significant impact for once. Also, who the hell is Jadis trading with? New group, probably. Probably not a group that we know anything about. I think of like a mad scientist archetype type of a group-led person, like Day of the Dead, testing on zombies, testing on people who have just been bitten, seeing if they can find a cure." Which, fingers crossed, come on, Rick. we gotta get you to that helicopter, and they gotta cure you somehow. Then you can come back in like 4 seasons or something. It'll be perfect. You can go do a movie or whatever you want. Come back in season 12 or 13 or whatever, or 14, and everything will be, everything will be gravy, right? Everyone will come back and be like, "Oh, Rick's back. That's awesome," right? So, I don't know. I'm still holding out hope for that. But everything they've said kind of goes against it. However, you're watching these episodes through, and it's like, this is kind of a interesting time to describe Jadis and the helicopter and the group and to give us all that, right? So, oh man, I just can't wait to see what they do. Zach Walker says, "Thank God, bro. I was about to seriously be mourning if you didn't post a video tonight." So yeah, lots of videos tonight for you, bro. Zach, here's 3. I just posted 3 for you tonight. This week I just, I had meetings at work, so I was up to like 45 hours. I often work 45 hours at my job, but this week we had team meetings, so I had to like wake up early and stuff, and it threw off my whole schedule. And then I went to try to make a couple videos, but I was exhausted, and then I didn't have that good a topic, so I'm like, I'm not gonna forget it. I'll just wait till Sunday till new episodes. So that's what I ended up doing, just because sometimes work gets in the way. My job comes first, right? I got to pay the bills first. YouTube is fun and all that, and it's great, and I love to do it with you guys. But you gotta pay the bills first before you got to do your homework first before you go out and play, right? Isn't that what all your parents tell you when you're younger? Make sure you finish your homework first before you go out and play. Oh yeah, it's done, Mom. Is it really? It's like, no, the algebra at 9 or 10 at night when I'm supposed to be sleeping. Yeah, man, absolutely. And Toryhan Ferguson said basically the same thing. "Shit, Trev, I thought you were dead. It's like I never noticed you're not there until you're not, all right?" And so, thanks. I appreciate that you don't notice that I'm here until I'm gone, right? So, glad you're back here to bring us another video. Just like I said, just work gets in the way sometimes, and the channel is a secondary priority to work, even though sometimes I kind of wish it was primary, but it isn't. It's what it is. Skylar B says, "Who else is dreading episode 5? So I am, man. I'm dreading episode 5, but at the same time, I'm, still holding out hope, right? I'm on Rick's side with this one. I'm optimistic. I'm like, this can work. Jadis, you can do it. We got an A and call it in, and then it's Rick, and then he goes off, and then he's the cure man, and I don't know. Somehow he survives, and that's why we follow Rick's story. I don't know, in the TV series. We'll see, man. But if they don't go that route and they just simply kill him off, I just hope Daryl's not responsible for it, because if he is, I'm going to be like, God damn it! Because then we got to follow Daryl's story, and everyone's going to be mad at him. It's going to be like, how's this going to work? I'm Joker28 says, 20 minutes into the episode, I figured out that Oceanside killed Justin only because Cindy was getting screen time and she usually doesn't. So that's true, right? Good call there. The only thing about it is, like, it was spoiled this week. So, I thought it was Whispers at first, and then I started seeing comments this week that, no, it's the Oceanside and it's been spoiled. And it's like, okay, great, whatever. All right, fine. Well, it is what it is. So it kind of ruined the reveal for me a little bit, but I still thought it was great when we actually saw the final scenes. And I did not know that a rot was going to be killed off like that. And that was good stuff. Kyle George doesn't agree, though. He says a rot deserved better. So Dominic Andres says, awesome episode. The ending minutes really got me excited to see what happens next. Also, what happened to your camera, Trev? Well, I just had zoomed out. That's all. I just, switch things up sometimes, right? Why not? Getting close to like 4,000 videos now. You got to switch it up sometimes. Andrew Ortiz says, I dislike the Oceanside group with a passion. I understand their motives, but their acting makes me cringe, and they don't feel right in the show. Well, I thought this episode kind of brought them up a notch a little bit. It made them look stronger than they usually look, right? And you could say that for a lot of the women in the show this season, right? So they all look super strong. You got Maggie, she's taking out like a whole group of zombies all by herself with just like a dagger and doing pretty good at it, right? So it's what it is. But I liked it for the Oceanside group. I thought it was great because usually I think the Oceanside group's like, They don't seem that, call me like a classic macho kind of guy, but they don't seem that strong. But in this episode, they did. They felt very strong in this episode, and they felt kind of savage and vicious, right? So that was good. So I thought it upped the Oceanside game for sure. Now we got to take them a little bit more seriously, right? You never know what they're up to. Lauren Munn says, I thought the Whisperers were killing them until that last scene. So she was thinking so as well, too. So was I. Jason Nimiroff says, the twist was amazing. I read people mention this. I'm guessing A equals alive, B equals bitten. I want to trust Anne. It's going to be interesting to see how they move forward. Well, the A and the B is, your guess is as good as mine. A, alive. B, bitten. Would they deliver people to the thing without them being bitten? I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess so, right? It makes sense. A, alive, B, bitten. It does make sense, right? So, yeah, we'll see what they're doing with that stuff. That should be kind of interesting to see how that whole thing rolls out. Anna Hunt says, Trev, do you think Jadis and Anne will take Rick for the helicopter group? I hope so. I hope so. And again, there's always the possibility if that happened that he could survive somehow. Jack Goldberg said the episode was the most expensive game of Clue AMC has ever done, right? Hashtag Walking Dead Clue. So yeah, that's true, right? It did feel like a classic murder mystery, whodunit, Clue type of thing. And, again, when this season started off, a lot of people were saying that it feels like the old Walking Dead again. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, this doesn't feel like old Walking Dead at all. I mean, maybe parts of it, like, if you look at season 4 with Andrew, was it Andrew or season 3? Season 3 with Andrew, when it was who did or who killed Karen and David or who's the one who's watching them and this kind of thing. It feels a little bit like that, but because you have so many groups now and it's so big and there's so many characters in different locations and stuff, I really feel like it feels totally different than anything we've ever seen in The Walking Dead. I feel like it's original and new. More than it reminds me of the earlier stuff. Even in some ways, Fear might remind me more of the earlier seasons where you just have like a few survivors, like a dozen or so, and they're trying to survive and whatever. This is like something new, but I thought it's new in a good way too, because it's again, it has a lot to it. It's not that simple, right? Peggy Sullivan says all hell is going to break loose because of Maggie. It's true. And the last one will be from Kyle George, who says, Trev, did you notice at the end how they promoted the next episode as Rick's final 2 episodes? Really stupid decision to confirm that episode 5 is his last. It's not bad enough that we already know it's Rick's final episodes, right? So, yeah, we did a video on this last week in the middle of the week, and pretty much what I got from most people was promoting this season as Rick's final episodes was a mistake, or at least it seems to be a mistake. It probably shouldn't have been done. Again, I think AMC has to realize there's an internet community, for that kind of stuff, but to promote it on the TV station channel is different than the internet. The internet is your hardcore whatever fans. The TV station has, casual viewers that are not the same as like our hardcore viewers. And they don't always find out. In fact, most of the time they probably don't. They probably have no idea. So, to do it that way, it's like, I don't know, man. It's, yeah, for sure. So, but to say I didn't notice if they said it was the final 2 episodes. If they did that, I'd be like, what? But again, I already kind of knew episode 5 was his last one. So, maybe for me, I didn't even notice it. If they did, in fact, say that it's final 2 episodes, which, I take your word for it. If they did, they did. Okay, cool. I didn't even notice because I already kind of, we kind of knew that anyway. So it's like, whatever. But again, the casual viewers don't know that, and I do think it was a mistake to promote this season as Rick's final episodes. It did end up hurting the episodes, I think, and I don't think people were amped to see that. They're like, they kind of like feel like, oh, I got to see that, but then they don't want to see it, so they just turn off, right? So, Ultimate Eugene, season 8 all-out war backfire. Everyone blows their hands off at AMC. That's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, like it, share, favorite, leave comments. More Q&As to come. Have one for you tomorrow. Trev, saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.